And again.
Big breath and big shot.
Use it.
That's it. Come on. Go for it, Anna. Big squeeze. Big squeeze. Go. That's it.
Breathe.
Look down. Is she okay? Yeah. She's so happy.
You are not guaranteed to have a baby in life or have a child in life. That is not a guarantee like people think it is. So Tim and I got married in January 2001, and we pretty much knew that we wanted to start a family straight away. So we got about doing that. Am I allowed to say that?
We always wanted children. That was like high on our list.
Fortunately, I didn't have any trouble falling pregnant. We on that little stick and bingo.
Celeste was due in August.
Our first scan, I think it was like around 12 weeks or something. Everything was fine. Then basically started to tell everyone. And then everyone gets excited and then they start asking you questions like,
Is it going to be a girl? Is it going to be a boy?
what they're going to wear, what they're going to eat,
What school are they going to go to?
what they're going to look like, what will their personality be like.
And they're the dreams, what you have, you start.
Seeing your child's whole life go in front of you.
It is life-changing.
Enrolled in antenatal classes. It was just all normal.
We were having a couple of issues with Michelle with just on how she was feeling through the pregnancy, but no way would we have thought that it would have turned into, what it did.
Pretty much when you get this book that's called What to Expect When You're Expecting, because Google wasn't around back then, I pretty much had everything in that book that could go wrong with your pregnancy. That's what I experienced, and that was the start of preeclampsia, which is another condition, which isn't a great condition for mum or bubs. We were given an appointment at Flinders Hospital with Dr. Simon James, who was the doctor that ran the intensive care paediatrics, neonatal care at Flinders. And it must have been about 27 weeks, 28 weeks. If my baby came, it would be a premature baby. So he basically provided counselling to us to prepare us for having an early birth, for having a premature baby. And also the things that could go wrong, as in not a stillbirth, but your baby be small, it might have to be in an incubator. It wasn't, your baby's not going to survive. Your baby might have a disability, like all these sorts of things, but nothing for us to suspect that our baby wouldn't come out alive.
You're thinking that everything's going to be all right. You've got all these doctors, you've got all these facilities around you that will help you get through to deliver a healthy baby.
Dr. Haig came back after a scan result and said that things didn't look good and that she was really struggling. Her heart slowed down and basically, I could either make the choice of getting induced and giving her, a chance that she might make it through the labour.
Your world just gets turned upside down within hours.
Then my labour started, and basically I was in labour for 14 hours. And And I delivered Celeste, and everything was quiet.
Bit cheaper than $6 from the cafe, made with lots of love. So that is that.
And I take it out here. So today I've just got a little half-hour run to do, just to tick the legs over. I got into trail running through my depression, like helping with my mental health. So I guess one could say that every time I head out on the trail, I'm thinking of her. The whole reason I got into running was running those trails and the feeling that it gave me with my connection to Celeste. Always get the We've obviously lived in Glenelg a long time, and they, when they were first laying this, they call it memory lane or memory something, and you could buy a brick, memory of someone, and it was just after we lost Celeste, and like that's what we want to do. So we bought a brick, and there she is. So I run over this every week, at least currently 3 times a week. Yeah, it's nice. And I've got friends that always run this way, and they say that it always, because now they know that it's there, they always think about our family, so that's nice. Yeah. You know, I've probably been doing about 100 Ks a week this last couple of months. In November, leaving on my birthday, which is the 1st of November, I'm embarking on running from Seacliff in South Australia, which is along the beach, to Port Melbourne in Victoria. I thought, oh, I'd love to raise like $100,000. So told Tim, he said, why are we saying 100,000? Let's go for $1 million. And I was like, shit.
Celeste was stillborn in 2001. You're about to go off and do something in her honour and to try to raise money for the Stillbirth Foundation. They are incredible. Dr. Sean Seho and all the people involved in it are my heroes. You're going to run 1,000 kilometres from Adelaide to Port Melbourne. You want to try to raise $1 million. That's a long way to run, right? When you're running for a little person who's not here, that's what gives you the strength. But what gives you the idea to go for that long a run?
I've done a little bit of raising funds for the Stillbirth Foundation before through running, not 1,000 kilometres, I've done 100 kilometres. And I just felt like I needed to do more. Grief is a lifelong thing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and running has been my solitude for dealing with that.
Give us an idea about what $1 million to the Stillbirth Foundation does. I mean, research, right?
It's research, but also after talking with the foundation with Sean, we were over here about a month ago, and gaining the understanding that they know what they need to do, they just need the money to be able to do it. The Stillbirth Foundation Australia is based in Sydney. Tim and I really wanted to get over to be able to meet Sean and Michelle face to face, get to know them. We wanted to do some interviews with some people that are probably a bit more prominent in work that they're doing around stillbirth.
Stillbirth occurs 6 times every day in Australia. It's relentless. And we're not going to prevent all 6 of those, It's how do we prevent some of those? For many years, we thought that there was no way to reduce the stillbirth. But we know from studies in the UK, studies in Australia now, that an achievable target in the next few years of at least 20% is certainly reachable.
Reproductive loss, if you take it from miscarriage through to, say, death in the first year of life, is experienced by at least 1/3 of families. So it's common. And it was also my experience all those years ago. One of my children was stillborn in the early 1970s. Another died of what was then called cot death, now sudden infant death, in the late 70s. Well, you can imagine I was a paediatrician whose baby had died. I felt unbelievably guilty and perhaps more so ashamed that it was because I was incompetent or unaware. I was a neonatologist, a paediatrician specialising in the care of the critically ill newborn for 50 years. In those years, I was understandably involved with experiencing as much as the good times of newborn intensive care, saving lives for families. I was also experiencing the death of a baby.
You never expect to lose a baby. You feel as if the bottom of your world has dropped out. It really hurts. It hurts so much. You just can't believe it. And half the time you go to bed and you may dream about it, or you wake up in the next morning and you think, oh no, the baby's going to be there today. It's not real. This didn't happen to me.
The enormous grief experienced by parents when their baby dies is all too familiar to Peter Barr, both as a father and as a paediatrician specialising in the care of newborn infants.
We made the film because we had become aware of the adverse influence of stillbirth on the psychological health of mothers. When that film was made in the mid-70s, it was common for families not to see or to hold or to touch or to have, in those days, Polaroid photographs of their stillborn or their baby who died in the newborn period. In a sense, the movement was really to forget and to carry on and to have another baby. That's no longer the case.
One thing we've always done is celebrated her birthday. So we've always made the 9th of August like a happy day. Like, we didn't want to make it a day of sadness.
Just want to welcome you all to Celeste's 23rd birthday, which means a lot to us, so I'll be okay in a minute. And a thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the support, the generosity to make this event possible, especially people doing all the amazing work, all of you getting people together to make this all possible for us.
It's been half a decade now since I last saw Billy, and it's been half a decade since I last held her in my arms. So in 2019 was when the doctor told us that there wasn't a heartbeat. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that when you hear that, it is like a stab to the heart. Everything sort of goes black and the future that you've been planning for disappears. There's nothing louder than hearing silence in a birth. It's really quite intense. I was taking everything pretty much for granted. I was like, I'm going to be a dad. Like, pregnancy's going good. Like, I didn't have anything to compare it to other than other successful pregnancies because nobody talks about the loss that they have. Yeah, we went to the hospital and they couldn't find the heartbeat. And then that's when they said that she was stillborn. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, explain to me what that means. Everything sort of shut down after that. We tried a couple of counselling sessions, but we didn't really find them to work because we would go in there and they would ask us how our day was and how we were feeling. And that was pretty much it. They wanted us to drive the conversation when we didn't really know what to do or where to go.
It's incredibly important that people working within systems like hospitals understand the importance of respectful, sensitive, supportive care, and care that hopefully can be individualised to people, because every family is unique. Every baby I see is unique. I was originally a midwife, and then I retrained as a social worker. I'd spent a lot of time in obstetrics looking after families where they had a different outcome to the one that they might have been anticipating.
Debbie is an angel on earth, in short, and I describe her as somebody I would love to replicate and have, not just in birthing suites and supporting bereaved families, but just as an exemplar of a human being. And she was somebody that was there for me when I had birthed my baby daughter Aya still. She had walked into the room, and I describe it as she floated into the room because she was so gentle and kind and really knew how to take care of us as parents, but also knew how to take care of my daughter, even though she was not alive. And I think in that moment, a lot of parents don't even know that that's important to them, but just knowing that somebody else valued your child and that your child was important to you really had a profound impact on me.
There's been extraordinary change in Australia since my daughter Caroline was stillborn in 1999. And that change includes, the fact that we are now talking about stillbirth not just as a private tragedy, but as a public health problem. The rate of stillbirth in Australia hasn't changed for about 20 years, and we've only been keeping records for about 20 years. 2,200 babies a year who die because of stillbirth. That's 6 babies a day. What we're starting to see with the federal government National Stillbirth Action Plan, the rollout of a safer baby bundle across every state and territory. We don't have the data in yet, but we are starting to see anecdotally that in different jurisdictions around Australia, the rates are coming down. The goal in the National Stillbirth Action Plan is to reduce stillbirth by 20% by 2025, and I'm quite optimistic that that is achievable.
Flown into Brisbane yesterday to come up and interview some people at the Stillbirth Research Centre up here that a foundation provide grants for. So we'll be interviewing some researchers, doctors, just discussing with them what's happening in that space and the money that we raise, how that can help them, what it can be used on.
We could probably reduce the stillbirth rate by 20 to 30% in late gestation by implementing what we already know from research to make it happen for every woman, every time, through routine antenatal care.
The big piece of work we've been doing now since the CRE began, which is the rollout of the Safer Baby Bundle across the country, is a good example of that. I mean, the Safer Baby Bundle, there's 5 elements to it, but there's nothing within the resources that we've produced that are particularly new, earth-shattering findings. I mean, what we've been trying to do is improve practice across the board.
The services that actually actively implemented the bundle, who really put focused effort with midwives and doctors making it happen, we saw the 20% reduction in the numbers of stillbirths over that period of time that we were aiming for. So that was so encouraging. We're getting feedback from the services about how it's working, what needs to change. We need funds to keep that going.
We will never prevent every stillbirth. I mean, unfortunately, there will be accidents of nature that take place that will lead to stillbirth that we, with the best care in the world, we can't possibly prevent. So providing best practice bereavement care is also absolutely vital.
You grow up thinking that like the stages of grief and they're like steps, and you go through one and then you go to the other and you go to the other. Then once you get to the top, you've completed it. Like that's it. But that's not how it works. Like you'll go from here and you'll go over here, then you'll go over there again, and you could be like just all over the place. And that's every day, forever. Running sort of became, I was able to clear my head, and I was able to come up with better ideas on how to manage things, and then realize that what I found best to make me feel better about what I was going through was to help other people going through it as well. Okay, 6 kilometres down, 1st of January 2024. Why am I running 6 kilometres every day this year, you ask? Because every day this year, 6 babies will be stillborn across Australia. And so I'm running 6 kilometres every day in honour of them, in honour of my daughter Billy, and to raise awareness of stillbirth. Double digits, day 10, 15 days in, that's 90 babies. 71 days, 167, 236, day 265. And I realised that that's the 12th step of Alcoholics Anonymous, service to others, and that's like how you heal. What do you think about what Michelle's doing? I don't understand how she's doing it. Like I'm running 6Ks every day. I can get that done in like 40 minutes, and she's still running almost double than me every month.
In training for this epic event, I have done just under 3,000 kilometres since the end of January. In that I've done 18 half marathons, of which 8 were between 30 and 35 kilometres, 4 marathons, and I've done 2 ultra marathons, and I don't know how many 10K runs, like a lot. It's scary, it's a big challenge, and I accept it's going to be tough, but nothing good ever came from easy. I'll get there. I might look pretty messy at the end, and I might look 58 instead of 54, but hey, who cares? Thanks everyone for coming. It's probably getting a little bit overwhelming that I'm finally at this day, ready to go. 9 months of David causing me grief, telling me to run further and further each week, but we've made it here, David. We're all intact. What I've learned over this last 9 months, meeting different people, it's the same stories. People still feel alone when they lose their baby because we just don't know enough about stillbirth. We don't talk about it in society. So when it does happen to someone, they just think that they're alone. And by me doing this crazy thing for the next 20 days, I'm hoping to raise so much awareness that people that are early in their journey, or it may happen, in the next 12 months, they're going to know that they're not alone, because this crazy woman sort of ran from Adelaide to Port Melbourne shouting all about stillbirth. Let's do this. Okay. 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Today, yes, it's my birthday. I'm turning 54. I'm running 54 kilometres to Mount Barker, and 6 babies will die from stillbirth today. By the time I get to Melbourne, 120 babies will be stillborn. So, it's just, if we can stop 20-30% of that happening, I'll be thinking a lot about Celeste, I'm pretty sure. I do feel close to her out there. And whether it's because my mind's not busy out there, like I want to connect, I feel like that's where I can do it because it's not noisy or busy. Things happen out there that, you know, like a butterfly will come out from nowhere and you think she's there. Like, that's a sign. I think it's easier to connect in nature.
Butterfly. There she is. Baby loss. We always associate like butterflies, like represent our babies. And it's always so special when I'm out on the trails and I see a butterfly. Like that was a single one, so I feel like that was more her.
From a running point of view, it's probably what I was hoping it to feel like after all that training, like, and following the program, and like I was probably hoping that it would feel that good on day one because my legs were starting fresh. It wasn't probably unexpected, the people that turned up, you know, and a lot of them are the people that have jumped on board straight from the start too.
Can you tell us a bit about what you're doing and why?
I'm making my way to Melbourne, so about 1,000 k's over 20 days, to raise research funds for Stillbirth Foundation Australia, but also to raise awareness along the way of stillbirth. To, you know, when we lost our daughter 23 years ago, Celeste, we were quite alone and felt alone. And I've just hit a marathon and I'm heading into Houndorf. Thank you.
It feels really, really good because we're making a difference now. You know, we've got 20 days to achieve these huge goals, which I know they're uncomfortable goals, but I really think that we're going to get there. Hutchinson Street, here we go, look at this. I haven't made a wrong turn yet. She's going to go through tough times, but she has got like the mental strength to overcome that.
Well, we're nearly at Mount Barker, and I think we've got about 2.5k to go. I think. Yeah, heading to the finish line, day one, done. I've got goosebumps.
My mum's been buying a lotto ticket every week to try and win $1 million for me not to run.
What would you do if you won? Would you still run?
I would still need to run. Sorry, Mum.
Hi, Dad.
Good on you, sweetie.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
So proud. We have been proud of her all her life, but since losing Celeste.
Yeah, that was probably a fairly sad time for us. But with our determination and spirit that we've got through it, and we want to see Michelle obviously get through it as well. She used to be my other son called Tomboy in her early life as a littlie that used to run around with either a cricket bat or a tennis racket in her hand, and the old totem tennis. She used to stand there day after day belting the living daylights out of a tennis ball. She knew that you had to do something to get a return, and that's how she was. And her whole life has revolved around that sort of thing. Michelle's realised it now that it's a great opportunity also to help her. If it's in the open, more people understand, then things can only help improve and help a lot of other mothers that are going through the same sort of problem.
I'm doing it for the people that are back here on their journey, or the people that haven't yet come to that journey. But I feel like now it's out there. I can say whatever I want because, you know, I'm getting positive feedback.
I think running across the country is a Herculean effort. Stories of post-traumatic growth in people, they inspire all of us. But very few of us, I think, are inspired enough to really change who we are. But if there is that few who can change who we are to be more aware, more courageous, more brave, that few can make a huge difference to all of us.
We've just come out of Rocky Hill Creek, I think it's called, past Monarto. Hello, 31.77.
Very good.
I'm just under 32k, so that's about 20k to go, roughly. And heading into Murray Bridge now to go over the bridge and down to Tailem Bend. It's Calippo time. It's getting pretty warm, and that hot northerly wind. If I can keep it to like 8-minute Ks, I reckon. Run walk. We're feeling hot. I'm probably ready to call it a day. With the heat and the wind and the, you know, just this last 3 hours has been pretty warm. All that and above. But yeah, I've probably had enough today. Day 2.
Well done. Bang!
Thank you. I think from running like the road, you know, the camber of the road, and this one got a little battering on the outside. So I just want to give him a little bit of protection today. I think most mornings will look the same. How the day pans out will be how it pans out. I'll break things down in small chunks, but I want to be flexible because I think that will bring about the best result.
Hey, let's do it. Let's go.
Big day. I'm excited to see the boys today. They'll help me, give me a boost. We talk about Celeste a lot with Luke, like any child does, I think. When he was about 3 or 4, he kept asking for a sibling. You know, like, well, haven't I got a brother or a sister? I just think, yeah, they would have got on really well.
On your right.
Oh, give your mum a hug, mate.
Come on.
Hey.
Luke's 21. Celeste would have been 23 this year. And you look at him and, oh God. You look at him on how he would be with her, you know, going out together. Would she be bossing him? All those types of things which you always think about. You know, I go out and you see Luke's friends. He's got lots of girlfriends. And I look at them sometimes and think, that's what Celeste would have been like. And that's what you've missed out.
When we got our little boy, I'm generalising, but everybody loves their children. But I really love my child, like I really love Luke. I wanted to be involved in everything. I wanted him to have the best of everything. I wanted him to be, you know, like we all, again, want our kids to be happy. But I genuinely wanted him to live a life that was happy, in a happy environment.
In many respects, great healing can come with the birth of a subsequent baby. But it is not as though we ever feel or experience one single thing or one single emotion. It's possible to always look at the constellation of your family and see where that child is missing, even though your life with these other little people might be busy and full and rewarding and beautiful.
We all smashed it.
All of us.
That's where you hurt yourself. Yeah, it's just, I think, jarred it right there. The worst part today is the wind. Yes. It's making it hard. But I had a bit of a stack, like kicked a tree root and fell forward. But just like, it's not swollen or sore, it's just like as though it's a bit bruised. And I've just done 30k and it's just starting to like niggle a little bit.
Do you have both options? Do you have K-tape and rigid tape there? So I would go to the outside of the foot just a little. So we're going to run it basically right over where Michelle's getting pain. So I would angle it back the other way a little at the bottom end first.
Yeah, the rounded part. Yeah.
Yep. And just lay this much tape down
combine the wind and then a niggle at the front of my ankle means a long day out on the road. We're only 6 hours and I've been having 7-hour days. What was it, 7:07, 7:17, and I've got 13.5k to go. So, I might be an hour and a half. The wind has been a killer today. Really held me back this last 4 hours. So I'm into overtime now. I'm trying to stick to no more than 8 hours, but I'm at 8:22. And a bit of a niggle in my ankle for the last 30k has held me back. You know, my whole recovery was based around 8 hours. 200 meters.
Come here.
Go to the pub.
If I knew it was going to be that windy, I wouldn't have set 60k. Yeah. But from about 47k was when it turned to like a slog. So just like through here. It's a little bit swollen. You know, it could be worse. I think it'll be fine. We'll just keep an eye on it early on, just take it easy starting off.
Alright, currently watching a YouTube tutorial of how to strap an ankle, and it's all the qualifications we need. Let's strap the ankle as well.
It's all the qualifications.
The other way, which is basically posterior to anterior. We want to stop.
Creating a extra buckle. What that's going to do, releasing a bit of tension off that tibia.
It's going to be a long day. Take it off a little bit at a time.
let's face it, this is my event. So, you know, there's no cut-off times, or I'm not under pressure. I'm not out to be the fastest person at anything.
I'm pretty happy today. 37.7k and just under 5 hours so far of moving time. So yeah, I think I'm doing a little bit better than yesterday. Yeah, I didn't know what today was going to look like, really. Well, you know, I probably pulled up a bit short what I wanted to do, but realistically, for the condition I left in this morning, 50k is good. Oh, that was an interesting day.
So I had a few really generous donations overnight, which really helped. You're going to make me cry now. And then, you know, just people sending me messages. I think today is going to be my mentally most challenging day because it's my 3rd day road running.
Day 5. So she just spit 25% done today, which is, I think, huge, isn't it? Quarter of the way through. Very impressed. To get up, you know, morning after morning, which she's done for 10 months, getting up, no moaning, puts her shoes on, laces them up, and up she goes. Wonder what's going through her mind now, you know, in that solitude. You've got to be pretty strong to just keep going like this, haven't you? Thinking, crikey, I got 50k to do again.
The real challenge is obviously going to be the mental challenge of getting up every day and getting back out there and knowing you've got this ahead.
I'm so looking forward to just a different surface. You know, it's still just going to be a long stretch, but it's just so much kinder on the body.
Running on the trails it's like serenity. You know, okay, some days you can pass some hikers and people, but a lot of the time it's just so calming and so peaceful.
I'm so frustrated. This side wants to run and this side doesn't. The plan is to just keep moving forward, get my old girl shuffle on, and you know, just I have faith that it will get better.
At least you're smiling through it all.
Yes, because I always think, and I was thinking it last night actually, that yes, I'm sore, but nothing's as painful as going through a 14-hour labour to deliver my daughter who was born still. That's painful. This is going to be all right. You know, like, people wouldn't have more than one baby if they didn't, you know, forget about pain. Pushing a baby out is painful. If we didn't forget about that pain, there wouldn't be, well, you certainly wouldn't be here. Number 3. 35k down, 15 to go. Get as much as I can. Got half an hour or something.
and I've got a physio appointment, and I'll have to finish the last bit off after the physio.
That's it. Got it for now. Yeah. Stop number 1 for today.
Time for the physio. So I kicked the tree root.
Yes.
And you know, I had a stat. So day 2 that was. So what am I, day 5? So what's that? 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And like it was halfway through that run and it was fine.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, the next morning when I started running.
They feet together. Yeah, and then press out this way. And so that one stays still, this one pushes into it.
Before we get into the bargain bingo tonight, and thank you, everyone's looking amazing. So what a night, a good night ahead. Have a few drinks, we're going to have a few laughs. But we're going to do our Wednesday night draw, and we're raising money tonight. Michelle has run from Adelaide to here. She's going to run from here to Melbourne. She's going to do 1,000 Ks. So give a round of applause to Michelle.
Last night was Bogan Bingo Wednesday night, and I tell you, Kingston goes off on a Wednesday night. You know, they were just all so beautiful and so generous, and just a really amazing community here.
We got $2,500. Yeah.
That's
So it's
unreal.
good. It is. But
Give me a cuddle.
You're a legend. No, I'm not a legend. You're a legend.
No, like, yeah, but it's communities like
Yeah.
this that can't underestimate, like, what it does to help me keep moving forward. Like, the last 3 days have been enormously tough. One, because I'm running on the road, and it's been a hard slog. You know, it's thrown a lot at me, really. Niggles, headwinds. Yeah, it's been a fight. You know, I'm a bit disappointed. I'm going a bit slower than what I'd hoped. I'm probably like an hour longer out there than what I wanted to be. Yeah, it's hard. It's been hard.
Has it been harder than you expected?
Probably just from the niggle point of view. I mean, I knew the running would always be, you know, like you're always going to hurt, but I didn't feel like I'd be so early on dealing with a constant niggle. I thought that would come, you know, I was expecting that a bit later, but I mean, that was just through having a stack that set off the chain reaction, and frustrating knowing that, you know, like I've been putting in some good Ks for 10 to 20 Ks around the times I want, and then it just, you know, I fall in a hole for a bit, and yeah, it's frustrating. I've tried everything.
So is running out of the question at this point?
Yeah.
And are you proud of how you've handled things so far?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, I'm proud of myself. I think, you know, if I get halfway and things crop up, I'm going to have enough people around me to, I think, that are popping in that will motivate me and know the right things to say. I've got a couple of girlfriends that are trail runners, ultra runners, coming in the back half, and I think they will be really helpful.
Tim, Michelle.
Really, nice to meet you. In regional areas, if a woman experiences a fetal loss or a stillbirth, we obviously do our best to provide tailored care for them. We do get social workers and other professionals involved, but we just don't have the resources that they do in the city. We like to think that we can birth our babies in our area and where we live locally, and unfortunately that's also not for everyone. We can't deliver everybody here. If they are high risk, we do have to send them away.
I will be thinking about a lot of other people's babies that have been lost, especially those that I've connected with this last 9 months who have really got behind me and supported me. And, you know, they are the ones that are going to give me the strength to keep moving forward.
You know, I've done pretty well with the Ks. Like, I'll be really keen to see what they are. I mean, I've slowed a bit down now with a bit of walking in between, but I'd say my hip is not giving me, like, it's still sore. I still need work every 5K, but I've been able to actually run properly in between.
It's been amazing, the people that I've connected with and hearing their stories, and it's really driven it for me to know that this is what I need to be doing. It's the right thing to do.
Pretty sure that was my fastest day.
100% it was.
It's only towards the last, I think, 8K where I was starting to need to walk a bit.
Yeah.
In Millicent and heading to Mount Gambier today.
A pretty big task that you've set yourself here, to run 1,000 kilometres in 20 days, around 50 kilometres a day. You are doing it for a very good and very personal reason, I suppose. So just, if you can, share us a bit of your story and your experience that's led to doing this run.
23 years ago, my husband and I had a daughter, Celeste, who was stillborn, and we pretty much suffered in silence for a lot of years because there wasn't a lot of help back then. We pretty much had to find our own way through that journey of grief.
Yeah. Well, is it better now for people who do find themselves in that terrible set of circumstances?
There's definitely positive changes. You know, it has improved dramatically, but you know, there's still a long way to go across Australia, especially in the regional areas where, you know, you're not near the bigger hospitals or near the bigger...
I think now at that level there's a greater understanding. I think too there's a far better understanding of how important it is to help a family create the reality of their baby, to see and spend time with their baby, to name the baby, to make arrangements very thoughtfully about what happens to that little baby's body after birth.
So Marley was my third baby, very healthy baby, growing really well. I had a scan at 35 weeks gestation and everything was looking really good. And it was only a few days later that it was my last day of work. So it was, you know, big celebration. I went in, said I didn't have any movements. They saw me pretty quick. Couldn't hear the heartbeat, so moved me into a different room and brought in a doctor to have a look. She couldn't see or hear the heartbeat either, so she just said she wanted to, didn't tell me there was anything wrong, didn't want to alarm me, I think unnecessarily, so I went and got a senior sonographer who came in and told me that there was no heartbeat. My world just dropped away. Then there was doctors and midwives and bereavement teams, just constant activity, you know, asking if I wanted memory jewellery and photographs, and I hadn't even processed, you know, what had happened. Meanwhile, the midwife next to me is holding my hand and trying to get in contact with my husband to come back. Then, I had to tell him what happened. She got put on my chest and Yeah, I was lucky enough to spend 4 days in hospital with her. I had my baby in my arms, and that's, you know, how it was meant to be. It was saying goodbye and leaving her in hospital, which was probably the hardest part of the whole journey. It's what I wanted to do since I was a young girl. I just couldn't wait to be a mum. I'd have 10 kids as young as I could, but thankfully I had the foresight to just wait and plan it out, and because it is hard, so it's nice to have all your ducks in a row. But yeah, I just love it. The kids are just my whole world. So I'm very fortunate to have, you know, my 4 kids, Rex, Rose, Marley, and now Penny. Yeah, they just they shift your whole perspective. I feel really privileged in my grief journey in that I had 5 months off work. In that time, I worked nearly full-time on a memorial garden for her in our backyard where we've put some of our ashes under.
And it's just a constant work in progress. Marley's birthday is spent in the garden, doing some sort of major rejuvenation to it, doing mulch, doing lots of weeding. Yeah, it's a way that we can feel connected to her on her birthday and feel like we're celebrating it.
Running from Millicent to Mount Gambier with my friends Jason and Carmen one day, and Carmen said, "Oh, are you going through Tantanoola?" And I said I hadn't planned to, and she said, "Oh, we've got to take you to see the Tantanoola tiger." And we went into, I guess it was the publican that was sitting outside at the time, and we went in, and then they gave donations. And then this lady came from out the back. She then proceeded to say that she had a stillborn daughter.
Oh, 23. What's her name?
Talia Jade.
Talia Jade.
Yeah.
They're things that I got from it personally on the run, and I'm glad that I took that little detour.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, sure.
I had my community of still running, which were the people that, you know, like I wouldn't have been able to do what I did without them. And so they were an amazing community for me.
So nearly halfway.
Done.
And then the people that we met along the way, like when you come through town, and total strangers, they really want to help.
Look, I think it's just absolutely unbelievable, Michelle, that you could even contemplate it. You know, the hours of dedication, I know the hard work you've all put in to get as far as you've come, and just best of luck for the rest of it.
I think that just the support in these communities has just been absolutely incredible. The generosity, kind of overwhelming a little bit. It's you go in and you don't know what to expect, to be honest. We've worked with communities before, but with a thing this close to ourselves, then you meet people in the community that have been touched by this. They've been absolutely incredible.
When we were in the car before, how'd you describe your ankle?
It's fucked. Like, if I was at home, I wouldn't be running for a couple of weeks at least.
I had a conversation, so one of the lads who I ran with this morning, him and his wife, their first son, they had to have a medical termination at 18 weeks, and then unfortunately they lost their second baby.
had a miscarriage. But they do now have a little boy, Louis, which is lovely. But, you know, these stories come out, you know, he just came up beside me when we were running out of town and told me his story because he was, you know, like, said, you know, what you're doing, raising the awareness and putting it out there. And he thanked me and then told me his story, and I thought this is exactly part of, you know, yes, we want to raise money, but I'm giving people opportunity to tell their story. And that's a big thing for a bereaved parent.
We've really worked very hard at the Stillbirth CRE with to understand what women need, how they want the information presented, so it resonates with them about what stillbirth is and how they can reduce their risk of stillbirth.
You know, medicine for many years was paternalistic. It's like, I'll just tell you if you need to know. And I think it has changed. You know, women want to know. They don't feel that it causes them anxiety. And, you know, they, you know, time and time again, they say, if we know what to do, we're empowering ourselves to take the steps to prevent a stillbirth from occurring to us. Stop smoking. Identify and manage fetal growth restricted babies. Sleep on your side for 28 weeks. Go to sleep on your side. Better decision making around timing of birth. And better awareness and management of decreased fetal movements. They don't cost anything. Many of those things don't cost much other than a conversation, and we need to do that better.
I think every day is big. And how you judge them is, the further you go in, it changes, averaging out how much pain you've had, how much fun you've had, how she feels. She has a good day, bad day.
The whole thing is going to be a challenge. The run's going to be a challenge. I'm going to have bad days. But I feel this is what's needed to bring attention to such a health crisis in Australia. You know, because currently nobody's listening. People are doing things, but nobody is listening, and I just, it's almost bordering on a little bit of angriness that people aren't giving a voice to a child that's still inside their mum, that should have a voice.
Out into the sunlight like a flower awakening.
There it is!
Woo!
Yes! Well done.
Halfway, actually over halfway to be exact, 516.31 kilometres. It'll be interesting to see how tomorrow goes with the beach and my ankle. Hopefully it's a bit compacted, otherwise I'll have to come back up on the road because we don't want it to slow me down. You know, I know it's softer, but you've got to like weigh up what time you're spending out there because you're probably going to fatigue more, like faster.
There was ever someone who was going to do everything that was expected, it was Michelle. I knew that from early on. She had the drive, the meaning, the purpose, and she defined each run, broke it down, so nothing was too hard. If she had any issues where her patience was being tested, then they generally revolved around bakeries and Tim, as opposed to her running. She's a phenomenal lady.
It was nice that the different scenery and the water's a beautiful colour.
But yeah, it was just a hard slog. Plan B, which is get back on the highway and just tick it off slowly. I think today's going to be a bit of a grind, to be honest. Just not feeling it. Well, he's not been very nice today. It's just relentless. I do wonder, like, how I'm doing it with a gammy ankle. You know, I say to Tim every morning, I get so nervous about what my body's going to offer up for the day. Like, I really get nervous about it, because realistically at any point that ankle could say I've had enough.
And you shouldn't have to do this really to get attention for something that's really needed. That's the frustrating part. Celeste is sitting up there now going, why does my mum have to do this? Why are we letting 6 babies die every day? And we need people to help us.
Call it, I reckon. Call it. You might have to call it.
No. Getting it in. Getting it in. I didn't come this far. I'd be very disappointed if that happened.
I've never not finished something that I've started, no matter what that looks like.
Airport where they back to the feet.
Anterior taliofibular ligament, completely torn from its fibular attachment and end.
That was pretty much the answer of why I was probably suffering so much. I felt pretty low, to be honest, which it's almost like I had to go through a grieving process of that.
The whole reason I chose to do such a gigantic challenge with running was because that makes people sit up and pay attention. 1,000 Ks might not be achievable, but I still think we've been doing some really good stuff along the road, and I think, yeah, we can, you know, let's come up with something else that's gonna, you know, I don't know.
I had a doctor, Steve, that works at the hospital there. Steve and Emma, they lost their daughter Sylvie as an infant, and told me, he said, I'm just going to go out for a run and do some kilometres for you. And then another lady came, Molly, that had helped with the MRI, and she was going to go for a run and do some kilometres for me. And then Ash had sorted something on Strava as well with the community to finish off my kilometres that I hadn't been able to do. And I think they had done, I don't know, 1,000 kilometres or something. Like, it was amazing already before the Wednesday.
Thank you all for coming today as a community to finish off Michelle's 1,000-kilometre run. It's been amazing. The Ash also set up a Strava group, which we've achieved about 1,250 kilometres from all around Australia to help finish off what Michelle started.
6 kilometres, which would take in past Celeste's memory paver near the marina. And, you know, amazing, like, there was about 80 people, I think, that turned out to support me and, I guess, support our whole journey of our whole team to get this run completed. Amazing that these people wanted to come out and show their support.
We feel in Australia we can reduce stillbirth by at least 20% just through the elements of the Safer Baby Bundle. We're not reinventing the wheel. We need to get it out everywhere in Australia.
Stillbirth is the leading cause of death of children under the age of 1. And if we were able to save just half of those babies, over a decade, that'd be 10,000 people.
Committed effort across the country to continue the awareness around stillbirth. And a hopeful message that it can be reduced.
What price would you pay for your child to be alive in the future?
People are more open to talking about it in my community. My friends are more open. They feel more open to supporting me now that they've actually heard the real story. As Australia as a whole, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. I will still always make it my mission to keep getting people talking about it and keep raising awareness. At the end of the day, it was about creating awareness, and I think I did that. So that's what I've got to hold on to.